Happy Sunday, y'all. I'm just go ahead and be 100% transparent. Today, it's not an easy day. Why is today not an easy day? Well, because let's not even start there. Happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Just Live podcast featuring myself, Queen Sanaa. I actually do have a great show for you today. Today's topic is about women in the industry and some of the stigmas associated with such. This is our topic. Are women stigmatized in the industry? Listen, while we wait for some more folks to come in, if you want to, I would love for you to drop in the chat your thoughts about whether or not women are stigmatized in the industry. And I am going to get my headphones on so I can hear all your little comments in the background. So I know y'all be talking trash in the background and sharing your thoughts, but y'all don't never share them in the comments. Yes, you do. That's not true. So shout out to all of my faithful viewers who are constantly in contact with me in the comments. And shout out to those who make sure to catch the show after the fact. So for those of you, let me know if you can and can't hear me. For those of you who are going to watch later on, I want to say thank you as well for tuning in. You don't have to be here with me live. All you have to do is let me know that you love me. Happy Sunday, Opulent Jade. Good to see you here. Okay, so again, today's topic is: are women stigmatized in the industry? Now, here's the thing about today, and I'm going to try my best to take it slow because, like I said, today is kind of a hard day. It's a hard day. It's not just a hard day, it's a hard week, it's a hard month. And what makes it so hard is for those who know my friends and family. How is it now, Opulent Jade? Let me know. For those who know my friends and family, you may know that we are approximately 3 days away from the 9-year anniversary of the passing of my brother, best friend, twin, Life the Legend. And I hear you, Opulent Jade, in the comments letting me know I'm a little low. How is it now? I have turned it up a little bit. Just please check in with me and tell me how it's sounding, please. And thank you. But yeah, we are 3 days away from the passing of Life the Legend. So rest in peace, Life the Legend, my twin. Uh, and so what I want to do right now is a tribute to my bro. And so let me just give a little background because I feel the need to do this. For those of you who tune in every Sunday at 3 o'clock, I greatly appreciate you. I truly do. And today, it's almost 5 o'clock. I, Normally, I would say I have no excuses, but it's not an excuse. It is genuinely, I needed a minute. I don't know how many of you have lost someone and then you kind of went on about your life, right? Because life continues on after you lose someone, and then you see a picture or a post or a Facebook memory or something, and then it just throws you completely off. Well, y'all, I had to put this memorial together. So I was literally sifting through pictures of my brother, and it kind of did me in. I won't hold you. So while we take a minute to remember Life the Legend, I do again want to apologize for everyone who signs in promptly at 3. Just to let you know, it's Self Care Sunday. I needed a minute. So, what I'm going to do right now is play the memorial video to Life the Legend, to all of my friends and family who are watching right now. I'm sharing this with so much love, and let's just love on each other together from a distance or near and far. And just remember Life the Legend. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am feeling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young dog. Come on, go hard. Y'all don't want it with me. Oh. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am smelling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young king. Yeah, that's no thing. Y'all don't want it with me. I'm back on my ish walk with a ditty bop. Yeah. Baby keep licking her lips at me, I see her mama. But I proceed to strutting my stuff. I'm listening to the Black Album, no love for the suckers. I got my shoulder brush. Money is folded up, jeans is freshly pressed. I stopped to fold the cuffs, I'm smoother than butter, baby. Love it, baby. Swiping the text on the sprint, epic. I spit excellence, get it together. I'm the next to blow, like a car with over 500 horses. It's hard to catch the flow. So anything that's in my path is just a stepping stone. Only if course a beneficial, I connect the phone. No time for idle chatter, I would rather just be left alone. It's only money on my mind, trying to collect the dough. I'm back with another episode. Let's go. So if you're too slow to see that I am doing my thing, I gotta show them that I'm living my life. You can't stop me now. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am feeling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young dog. Come on, go hard. Y'all don't want it with me. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am smelling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young king. Yeah, it's no thing. No, want it with me. I am smoother than peanut butter, still I'm rough around the edges. Like you ain't cut the crust from off the bread. My talk is slick enough to get a fiend and loan me $1, but still I'm thug enough to bust a head. Listen, I bring the balance just like one of them wristbands and stay grounded while you dudes is sinking like quicksand. I'm always up like a bike with a kickstand, so if you think you'll ever catch me sleeping, better switch plans. I grab the latest flavors off the kickstand. My dress code is always on point like a snitch hand. Yeah, I got the same desires as a rich man, so I can't leave the earth without having a pot to piss in. I'm only twisting up the pot when I'm pissed in. I know for a fact that if I can't smoke the fifth pin, y'all old dudes are playing dirty like a pig spin. I give them not a minute like a clock with no big hand. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am feeling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young dog. Come on, go hard. Y'all don't want it with me. I'm back and I'm better than ever. I am smelling myself and I should, cause in my mirror is the face of a young king. Yeah, it's no thing. No, don't want it with me. Oh, Sean Divine.
So yeah, that was that was my tribute to Life the Legend. And like I said, that was look, I'm not a photo editor by any means, but going through all those pictures of my brother and trying to decide what to keep, and I don't it was just hard. It was hard. So y'all show me some grace today if you so choose. If not, no worries. I believe in self-care no matter what. And rest in peace to my twin, Life the Legend. Now, I will say this. We did some music together, and when he passed away, I stopped singing. I stopped singing. He didn't even know I was a rapper. Most of my family didn't know I did spoken word, but I stopped. Like I had literally lost my voice and my desire to share my voice out because it was so hard losing him. So for me, even getting back into music was a really big deal. You know what? Shout out to me because I know a lot of folks that just stop and don't go back. And that's not in a toot in my own horn kind of way, but kind of sort of because I am proud of myself. Proud of myself for not giving up. And I also want to shout out my family, my parents, for giving us the musical gifts that they gave us, my mother and my father. Very musical and very influential on our decisions to create music. My brother, like the legend, again, rest in peace. My brother, Prince Castro, who has several albums out right now. Uh, Myself, Queen Sanaa, thank you. I love you. Shout out to my mama, Opulent Jade. And so, what's happening here is what I discovered coming back into music. Uh, Everything changed. The way we went about putting music out changed. Streaming started happening as a thing. It wasn't even a thing to be uploading your own songs on streaming platforms or getting your own publishing for your own royalties. Back when I first started doing music, I hope I'm not like dating myself or anything, but who cares? I'm mature, and we just gonna say it like that. A lot has changed over time. So, what I noticed are that several things. There seems to be a lack of women, and specifically Black women, but women generally in certain parts of the music industry, whether we're talking about record executives or producers or DJs or whatever. And I noticed that in a lot of the top charts, there was a lack of female presence in a lot of the charts. Y'all saw the top 50 hip hop that recently came out. How many women were on that? And, you know, I heard a lot of people go, well, there aren't a lot of good female rappers. And I think that's about perspective. So we're going to get into a lot of that today. Again, today's topic is, are women stigmatized in the industry? Okay. So just checking on my chat here. Uh, that's right. You needed a deal. Shout out, Prince Castro. All right. I don't know if you all recall, I played that song "Money on My Mind" a couple weeks ago. That is Prince Castro's song featuring myself, Queen Sanaa. I'll let y'all hear it during today's show as well. Um, Cynthia Anzino, thank you for tuning in. Love you as well. And Linda Batts, RIP nephew. But back to what Prince Castro said. Yeah, you needed a deal to put music out. So back in those days, right? Um, Being a woman trying to get a record deal wasn't just, you go in and try to get a record deal. There was always this expectation that as a woman artist, you had to give something to get something. It couldn't just be you had to give your talent to get something, right? Or if a woman climbed in the industry, the assumption was that she gave something to get something, which is not always the case when it comes to women artists. But as a woman artist, that's typically the first thing a lot of people tend to think. And so the issue that I have with that more than anything personally is that how are we perpetuating that notion? How are we perpetuating that problem? What are we doing to change that stigma? How are we feeding that stigma, right? So, anyone who watches my show knows that I'm all about the betterment of the community. And I always say it starts with self. Things can't change until we decide to be the change that we want to see. So, I personally want to see that change. So, I had to sit with myself and ask myself, how do you make this problem worse? How do you show up in a way that allows people to respect you as an artist? How do you view other women artists in a way that other people can pick up on and kind of learn from, right? So let's start with some numbers. Let's see. Let's start with this: women producers, right? How many women producers do you all think exist right now, generally speaking, in the US? I'm just going to say in the US. Go ahead and let me know what you think in the chat. I'm going to sip on this water. then I'm going to tell you. There are very few women producers in the music industry right now. And although the numbers have grown in the past 10 years, currently only 3.4% of producers are women. That's crazy to me. 3.4%. But how many people are listening to music? And I don't believe that, yeah, less than 50 won the bats. 3.4%. Y'all, I don't think that's because there's a lot of women that don't want to produce. I don't believe that at all. I know that as a woman who wanted to learn to produce, the sheer BS and hoops and etc. that I had to jump through just to kind of even get that type of how do I want to say this? Because I don't want to throw nobody under the bus or anything. Like shout out to everybody who taught me everything that they knew, or at least enough of what they knew, for me to be able to produce a song, record a song, mix a song, master a song, and then put the song out. That is a skill set that a large majority of people who make music don't have. And although I could do a lot more with it, I also will point out, because I'm going to have to point out that as a woman, I know it was a little different than if I showed up being a man who wanted the same knowledge or education or tutelage or mentoring, etc. Right? So I can only imagine. That's insane. I can only imagine, thank you, what a lot of other women had to go through. Okay. So we're just going to be realistic about that. Um, let's see. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the Grammys. Here's another one. How many women, how do I want to ask this question? So y'all think it's about 50-50 of women being nominated for or winning Grammys? Or do y'all think it's a disparity there? I'm going to go ahead and use that word because it's not a buzzword. It actually means that there is a lacking in that area, right? Where there could be some equity in that space. So I'm going to use those words that I love to use on a daily basis, the words that involve my checks getting signed. And let's talk about the inequities in women in the Grammys. Okay. So I'm gonna give y'all a little time. Go ahead and put that 30-second timer, and y'all let me know what y'all think. Is it about even? These are the options. It's even, more women than men, or more men than women. All right. So here goes the 30-second timer. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Okay. Um, I can't stand the music on that timer. I'm gonna have to make my own. I don't like it. All right. So you say more men than women for sure. Absolutely. So let's take a look at those numbers, and thank you for your interaction as well. Let's see what this says. It says that for record of the year, 11.1% were women. Uh, album of the year, 10.3%. Song of the year, 29.2%. Producer of the year, 1.7%. And the reason I left Best New Artist for last is because that is 45.4%. So new women artists are getting love. But it doesn't seem like that love continues on. It doesn't seem like it's a sustained love for women in the industry. Yeah. I think it's sad as well. So, myself as an artist, I look at things like that and I ask myself, well, do you actually want to be in the industry if this is what you have to go through? Um, and then I learned that as an indie artist, most of the time you make a lot more um, and have a lot less debt. But that's a whole nother discussion. I'm good with the indie at this point. I'm gonna just leave that at that. But shout out to all the women who work hard in the industry and have to go through all the hoops to get to where they are now. Finally, I'm going to talk about invisible women of color in the industry before we really get into the meat and the potatoes of women being stigmatized in the industry. Let's talk about this. As producers, you remember we mentioned those numbers earlier, right? 3.4% in 2022. And that's the highest number so far that's been studied. Women of color specifically 13 out of 1,756 producing credits went to women of color. And I want to shout out EDM.com for this information. They did a study about, the stigmas against women in the industry, the disparities when it came to some of these awards. What are you saying? The positive thing to look at is you can kick that door down. You mean as an indie artist, or what was it I said you were referring to? If as an indie artist, yeah, absolutely, you get a lot of you get a lot of options that people who have contracts don't necessarily have. They have a lot less say so and a lot less ownership. Ownership is everything. I don't care what anybody says. In any circumstance, ownership is everything. All right, let's see. Yeah, wow, right? That's a really big deal. So let's sit with that for a minute. And I have a lot of ladies here, and just really wanna know how that makes you feel. Peace, Israel Mills. Thank you for showing up. Glad to see you here. You missed the Life the Legend Memorial. You did, and that's okay because I'll send it to you. Uh, Israel Mills also has a show. I believe it's called Real Spill with Israel Mills. And if you can, please do drop your link in the chat. He also had an amazing memorial on Memorial Day. So if y'all could go back and catch that show, you might end up crying a few tears. I don't know. But rest in peace to all of those greats that we lost. Okay, so, what can be done to kick the disparity door down? That's what we're talking about today. That's what we're talking about today. I really would like for us to sit with this for a minute and think about, well, how do I perpetuate the stigmas, right? When new music comes out, are we rushing to listen to the male artists before we rush to listen to the female artists? I do. I do it. Not just because I'm a female artist and I think I'm the best. And so I don't want to listen to anyone else, even though sometimes it gets that way, right? Y'all can laugh because it's a joke, but it's serious. It's more so, from my perspective, it seems like, a lot of albums by male artists are just pushed a lot harder, um, get a lot more of a machine behind them. The new female artist comes out and she's very popular and everybody wants to see her, and then all of a sudden it fizzles out until she does something like for, I don't know, for attention, like the artist who was a plus size artist and wore this very big dress with the backside cheeks cut out. And mind you, she got a lot of backlash on the internet, but she also sold a lot of albums after that as well. So my thoughts are, when y'all think about this, it's more so about, what do we do to perpetuate these stigmas? I agree with you, Opulent Shade, that women are the biggest consumers. So, what are women doing that makes it so much harder for women artists? What are we doing? What are some of the things that you've done? Um, you don't necessarily have to share it here. Um, I know for me, when I hear women talking about certain things in their music, I don't really want to hear that. And it's not because I think that only men should be talking about those things. Me as an individual, as a mom, as a person, I don't want to hear anybody talking about certain stuff. Could be an age thing. Could be that I'm a parent now, and 9 times out of 10 they're listening to what I'm listening to. It could be I just want to see something different from my people. I don't know, but whatever it is, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about your pee popping severely. I don't, right? And I also know that when a woman artist comes out that way, she either gets a whole lot of backlash or a whole lot of love, and then nothing. It's like a ton of things she has to do to stay relevant, um, which typically equates to what people like to say is selling your soul, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Rest in peace, life the legend. May God grant you paradise. Absolutely. Abula and Jade, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So here's one thing that I came across while I was reading. If a male artist and a female artist rap about the same exact thing, it doesn't have to be crass. I'm not even going to go down the road of it being crass, right? But if they rap about the same exact thing, the male artist is automatically going to get more love than the female artist is. There are truly men out here who won't listen to songs because it's female artists. And I guess I want to know, like, what are you afraid of? Are you afraid of being disappointed by the song? Do you not like the sound of women's voices over music? Are you embarrassed by some of the things that women talk about? Um, do you not like women? I gotta ask. There are some people, male and female, who just don't like women. It's true. And does that resonate in those numbers that we saw? Does that resonate in the way people show up for female artists? I want to take a pause. You're right. Yes, absolutely. There's always been a double standard. I don't know. I want to dismantle those double standards when it comes to women and music, right? I'm not saying, y'all, listen, by no means am I saying I want to hear um, that a woman is rapping about how many dudes she's run through and getting him for his cash and all this. Like I said, I don't like to hear it. I don't think I've ever liked to hear stuff like that. But I don't like to hear dudes talking about that either. I said what I said and I meant what I said. And so while I am transitioning, what I'm going to do, for those of you who don't mind hearing women's voices, I'm going to show the Spoken Guns Queen Cipher, a set of women artists, including myself. We are rapping, not singing. And I'm going to show this. Well, yeah, I don't want to hear vulgar stuff from women. Exactly what I was saying. And I also wonder if that's generational as well, right? Because a lot of women like flock to hear it so they can twerk and pop and all these other things that some women like to do. I feel like that's a lifestyle. It's not my preferred lifestyle. So I'm going to show the Smoking Guns Queen Cipher from 2023. And as y'all are watching this video, I want y'all to think about this. Think about the first thing that comes to mind when you watch each artist. I want you to think about if you have any implicit biases. What is implicit bias? Let me get the definition for you so you can have some awareness as you're watching which may help. It may help you kind of decide how we feed these stigmas. Implicit bias is a form of bias that occurs automatically and unintentionally that nevertheless affects judgments, decisions, and behaviors. And research has shown that implicit bias can pose a barrier uh, in many different areas, whether it's the workforce or whether it's just how people in general perceive you or whatever it is. It's implicit bias really does cause a lot of problems. So while you watch this video, I want you to be aware of what your implicit biases may be. And I kind of want to talk through that with y'all because I think that that's going to be one of the best ways to decide how we can get rid of some of these stigmas. I think we need to be aware of how we perpetuate them, how we view people, what expectations we set for people, and then how the way we're showing up in that way feeds this narrative. So here we go with the Spoken Guns Queen Cypher 2023.
Nine, seven, kill it, G.
There. Goose. I go by the name of Rod Digger. And you are now tuned into the Spoken Gun Queen Cypher. Carolina. With no further ado, talk to a
Just a big
queen.
bad wolf riding low through your hood, dressed in all fleece, pretending it's peace. Hand on the piece, I'm praying you sleep. Sweet like peach, but it's havoc I reach. Better call female Katrina to this rapping. Time pick color, make pretty for your casket. Does my thing, skills like ling. Word of my woes, can't see me toe to toe. You know I got a pass when the pumps in the purses. Your man on my line, cause I outrage your verses. Wait, whoa, all of my grill, cause I'm on a roll. Big blow, huffing I puff, now your crib on the flow. This big mama got food for the soul. Y'all on milk, buckle up for the stroll. Been through the fire, coming out like gold. I never miss, built on bricks. Stand with the best of them, unlike the rest of them. God is the president, flow is the evidence. Call up the reverend, bitches and elegant. Far from a veteran, pluggy for president. Breaking the ballot, can't box me in. Plugging the love, I'm watching the blood. Hand paid by heaven, I'm destined to win. Yeah.
This is the part where I cut up and act up like Kate and the rest of fool. I be a lady, a freak, or a goon in them streets, and I'm still gonna be dropping them jewels. Oh, you mad? You tight? Did I hit a nerve up under your skin? Just on my maestro, I'm taking all of your bulls, cause you ain't playing no win. Go big or go board, the ladder is sadder, cause you're on my platter, and no, I'ma eat. No talk for cheddar, always been better, but nah, I'm a beast. What up, Caculat? What up, bull? I had to bring it back so I could feed my cities till they full. We are our ancestors, walk out these dreams. They gon' try to get in your mind till you bust up out of them scenes. But you gotta hold your ground, cause you already been chosen. Causing commotion, cause you got the potion. Stay on the voting, doors gon' be open. Yes, Lord.
Did it again, watch me come through with the woo for the win. Everybody wanna know where I've been. What can I say? I've been getting it in. And I've been valid, I've been verified, been all of my job. Really, I've been callous, I've been scared that I've been waited too long. I've been hated on for too long, and I've been itching all in my palm. Really, I've been all in my bag. Now I done been made it this far. Yo, I take the bag to the bank. My haters mad that I do what they can't. Trying to convince me they is when they ain't. I just proceed to go hard in the paint. Hard in the paint, driving the lane, straight to the hole. You feel the pain. Let's not pretend that you thought I would take it this far to the top on the way to the win. Yeah, I just gon' run it up. Ride past the crowd with a smile and I'm holding my runners up. Fuck with us. Roy to the name with respect in the game, and I
Just
said
for
enough.
a minute, let's talk business. Flow is just a little bit vicious, and them pigeons can only handle a smidgen of it. I turn faucets, testing waters is your decision. Use caution with that drip, cause I'm gripping most of my vision on it. Can't let go, preaching to the choir when I got that fire, and they all know. Keeping you inspired is my fave pastime. You ain't learned last time, got the Leroy glow. Salute my crew, cause we so dope. Having all the pull, don't need no rope. Gotta keep it cool, all skis, no slope, full speed, rare breed, I can feed you hope. And I'm married to this rap, but I had to elope. Cause they don't notice when you here, but they want you when you leave. So believe I'ma lead on my pack. We be stacking chips at the back door. We creeping slow for all the newbies and beginners. Then picking the plot, licking the pot clean. Cause we cooking full steam in the Queen's Eve dinner.
Been a threat, still a vet. Wait a minute, and I'm still bigger flex. Out the mud, royal blood, king's daughter, kingdom mindset. If it ain't purpose in your punchline, darling, tell me what's the benefit. Let me guess, money, murder, sex. Same ish, too hard for the church. She too safe for the street. It's a cold
with a pump though. I don't play with these ducks and no, they vibration be too low. Mariah Bree ain't chose me, not a whole lot of us, so we them out.
Yeah. Smoking Guns Queen Cypher, y'all. It's available on my YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch it again. QS Queen Sanaa is my YouTube channel. First of all, first and foremost, I totally forgot about this. I don't even know how I forgot about this. First of all, if you have not already, whether you are on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, go ahead and hit that like button. It's very important, y'all. I know people don't believe this, but it is truly scientific. The more the likes, the better the content. Still working on the data. But while I'm working on that data, I'm going to give y'all a sec. Go on over and hit the like button. Let me give you a minute. Take your time. Take your time. Thank you to those of you who have already hit the like button. Oh, you didn't see it? Here we go. Shout out was already gone on and hit a like or a love button. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everyone who tunes in, everyone who's here live with me, and everyone who will watch later on. Thank you very much for your support and for watching the show. Uh, Shout out to you, Shatik Swain. Thank you very much for the love. Thank you, Cynthia Andino, as well. Appreciate it. Again, the Queen Cipher is on my channel, QS Queen Sanaa. If you have not had a chance to go ahead and watch it, it's there. You can also go and subscribe to my channel and go back and watch some of my episodes. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this discussion, okay? Because I don't know, sometimes when we don't call things out, that's the only reason they're able to be perpetuated. Uh, we allow things to go, we let them slide, we don't say anything, and next thing you know, it's this big ugly monster that we just kind of go along with because it's there, you know? So, my question to you is, as you were watching the video, what, if any, implicit biases came up right away for you? And we can take a little time with that one. We don't have to really rush through that one. But I want to know, like, what came up in your mind from what you saw? I heard someone say that because some of the women were representing their religious beliefs, they thought it was going to be, a religion based song. That was one of the things that people told me they thought immediately. I heard another person I was talking to asked me, like, specifically asked me about my natural hairstyle, right? And if you know me, y'all know I go natural. I do not care. This is it's what I'm given. And it's in shrink mode most of the time because it's actually down my back, right? But I'm gonna wear a fro in a heartbeat because it's what I do. That's what I do. Shatiki said none actually. Oh, thank you. I appreciate the love. Yeah, thank you. You can actually find all of them on YouTube as well, each of those artists. You're old school, so please say more about what that actually means. What are the implicit biases that came to mind? Being someone who's old school. One person I talked to expected that all the women would have some vulgar terminology in their lyrics. And truthfully speaking, I am the only person who said any type of profane words in the whole song. Wasn't intentional. It comes out sometimes. But I also read that excessive use of profanity is a sign of intelligence. I don't know how true that is, but I read it somewhere. I think it was like a Harvard study or something. Y'all got to find it. So, as a woman who I'm going to say got 104 on my SAT portion of the final, I still use a lot of profane words. It's in there. Thank you, Opulent Shade. You said the women were beautiful, but too hard. So sounds like, and I don't want to make an assumption. Uh, it sounds like you're saying that you expected the women to show up a little more soft and I don't know. I guess feminine is what I'm taking from what you're saying. I don't want to make assumptions. So if I'm right, please do let me know in the chat. But if I'm wrong, let me know what you're actually saying. Cynthia Andino says, I love music. I love rap battles. So I was waiting to hear what was going to be delivered. She says she came to hear the lyrics and to see how those ladies were spitting. Thank you for sharing that, Cynthia Andino. Shatik Swain says, bars over vibes. I hate when people say don't worry about the words, it's the vibes. I used to rap, so I guess it's from a biased place. So basically, you can show up with the look and with the style and all of that, but if you're not lyrical, then you're not here for it. I hear what you're saying, and if that's not accurate, please do also let me know. So I'll wait for a few more comments because I really do want to talk about these stigmas and these biases that we have when it comes to women and music. It happens a lot, right? It happens a lot more than we know, actually. And sometimes we don't know how we perpetuate those biases to masculine. I've also heard a few people say that as well. Yeah, I hear people say that about me from time to time. And I will say that as an artist who has that duality, there are times when I show up in my masculine energy, and there are times when I show up in my feminine energy. So what you're saying resonates for sure. Uh, Cynthia Anzino, I was happy everyone was fully clothed. Sometimes it covers the message. That's where I was going. Thank you for opening up that discussion. Um, yeah, y'all keep dropping responses in the comments. We're gonna dig into that a little bit about everyone being fully clothed. So I was looking for some imagery of, some cheekage and whatever. I was gonna blur it out. I was, but immediately I thought about my mom watches this show. My daughters watch this show. My older daughters, my children, my younger ones watch this show. I have coworkers that watch this show. I have people that respect me in the community that watch this show. And is that how I wanted to show up? And if I had to have that thought, then there's got to be something kind of wrong with it, right? In the age of, in the age of body autonomy, right? In the age of my body, my choice, in the age of stop policing women's bodies, it also feels like an age where modesty has gone down the drain. That's heavy, y'all, because you could get literally eaten alive just by saying something about a woman showing up with half of her butt cheeks hanging out of her clothes. Am I right or am I wrong? And it also seems like the women that show up fully clothed get less attention in the industry. But on top of that, it seems like the women that show up half dressed are only as relevant as their next scantily clad outfit. So, somebody help me understand, where do women fit in when it comes to the music industry? Where do we fit in? We can't be too hard. We can't be too naked, is what it is. We can't be too intellectual. Nobody wants to hear a lot of words. Uh, we, I don't even want to go down the whole list. Let me go back to my comments. He said some of the women could battle on URL TV. All right, then. All right, then. I'll take you up on that one. You think the men get more play because the women show up so masculine? I like women rappers, but do they need to be like women rappers, but why do they need to be too hard? That's interesting. Um, so let me ask you this question. If a woman rapper was spitting in a very soft, gentle, feminine voice, you personally, would you listen to her? And if so, do you think that anyone else would listen to her? What do you think, Opulent Jade? Cynthia Andino says the media makes it seem relevant. Are you referring to the half naked, the half dressed women? Is that what you mean? Say more about that. Hey, Travis, thank you for tuning in. We are, for everyone who's just joining me right now, I see I have a few people that just hopped on. Our subject today is, are women stigmatized in the industry? Are women stigmatized in the industry? I think everyone here has, to a certain degree, agreed that yes, women are stigmatized in the industry. And we're just talking about a lot of the ways that they are. So if the media makes it seem like women are only relevant if they're half dressed, what are we doing to change that narrative? Are we listening to less women that show up half naked to prove the point that we would rather see more modesty? Or are we just going along with what's fed to us by the industry because that's typically how things go, whether it's the news or the music or, whatever foods are trending at the moment? What are we doing? Travis, you say everyone is stigmatized in the industry. Say more about that. Say more about that. I'm going to touch on some of that in a sec as well, but I want to hear your opinion. Ah, okay, 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 okay. Shatik says women rapping masculine isn't the problem. It's when they glorify the 304 life, and that's when the respect goes. And for those of you who don't recall, 304 is, type it in your phone, turn it upside down. So when they glorify that life, that's when the respect goes away. I hear what you're saying. So we've got two people, three people. One is saying, uh, too many naked women. One is saying too many women are glorifying the 304 life. And one is saying uh, too many women rappers are masculine. Mm, mm, mm. And you say you do listen to Jill Scott, Lauryn Hill when she was rapping. I like the poetic, conscious rap. I definitely hear what you're saying. It's spitting a positive message to the community. Now, we know Jill Scott can get a little sexual in her presentation as well. I think we all can agree on that. And she's still an awesome artist. I don't necessarily prefer those moments in her in her career, but that's her business, right? But I don't necessarily support that. And that's the point. When those things are happening that we don't like, what are we doing to change that narrative? Are we choosing not to support the music? Are we countering it with a more positive message? What are we doing? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Opulent Jade. So Travis, listen, you make an excellent point. Men have to be killers and dealers from the hood. I have not seen a lot of male rappers get a lot of attention without talking about killing, without talking about some misogynistic crap. that perpetuates, the fatherless children narrative, uh, dealing, selling, trap houses, etc., and you say it's a black problem. So that, those are four words that hold a lot of weight, Travis. It's a black problem. I'm gonna sit with that for a second. It's a black problem. Opulent Jade says facts. So you agree? Oh, look, while we take a minute, I still want to encourage you to hit the like button. Hit that like button. We're always talking about topics to better our communities. And what's not to like about that, right? Hit the like button, share the episode with your friends. So, Travis, you say it's a black problem. And I'm going to say I don't disagree. I know my producer, Jim Savage, in the past did a clip about this culture of violence, of slanging, trapping, whatever the term is in 2023, because it changes every few years, right? This culture of uh, butt naked 304ness, right? This culture of single motherhood and uh, baby fatherhood and um, temporary riches, lack of wealth, this culture that has been created. Unfortunately, it has been perpetuated by hip hop. But ultimately, I don't even know that I believe that this was started by us. That's a whole nother other show. Okay. I'm not trying to disappear, in the middle of the night or none of that. But I don't believe it was started by us. I believe it goes right along with that narrative of weapons being dropped off in the middle of the hood. Y'all know where I'm going with that. And then certain parts of us, certain people, because Black people are not a monolith. We don't all like the same things, think the same way, gravitate toward the same stuff. But certain people picked it up, found something in it that resonated with them, and ran with it. And then it became the face of what people believe is the Black culture. Now, if that's what you're saying, I totally agree with you. It was not started by us. I remember a time when music was about love and families and y'all know what I'm talking about. There used to be so many good songs about just a lot of positive stuff. You know, um, and Cynthia, yes, I appreciate the transparency because, yeah, we sing along, we talk about it behind the scenes. That's true. How many people hear about an artist doing something absolutely deplorable and disgusting and still play their music, right? A lot of us do that. And I don't know if it's to be doing what everybody else does or if there's a cognitive dissonance. I don't like this, but I like the music, so I'm a still play it. And I wonder how much of that feeds into it. But Cynthia, I agree with you. It does seem like another form of slavery, a way to keep people mentally oppressed. Now, I don't want to go too far into the sacredness of a woman's body. I'm not going to do that because your upbringing, your perspective, the teachings you were given are your own, right? But if nonstop from a very young age, all the music and the imagery that children see, and let's just keep it real. Everything is not, oh, you let your children watch or see this. You could be watching television as a family and a half-dressed artist pop up in the commercial. Like there's almost no way to get away from this. If every time they see that, um, They see that, they hear certain things that are detrimental to their mindsets, to the community, and those seeds are being planted. Of course, this is why we are where we are today. Of course, it is. And I go back to this, it was not started by us. It wasn't started by us. Making millions off of the people and giving turkeys to the community while collecting Grammys, they do nothing to clean up the communities they came out of. Why do you think that is, Opulent Jade? Why do you think that is? I like what Travis said, that says you can't get a deal if you aren't a stereotype. Well, hey, honestly, I believe that's why it's that. Right? Because that's already the mindset. Was just like when you watch the news, you can have this highly educated individual right here with something knowledgeable to say. They don't have to be all prim and proper, but at least have something intelligent to say, right? And then what they'll show is the person that is the epitome of buffoonery. That's the word I'm going to use. And that's what is shown on the news. I feel like it's the same way. They take the artists that come from um, specific backgrounds with specific personality types, with specific mindsets, and they use that to inform what the music is going to look like, uh, what people are going to gravitate towards. And in this conversation about women specifically, slavery, control of the mind, steering you in the direction or light they want us to appear in. Yes, yes. All black women twerk on top of cars and rooftops. To my ladies in the chat, have you ever twerked on top of a car or a rooftop in your life? You can be honest. This is a safe space, I promise. I have a feeling that none of my women listeners have ever twerked on top of a rooftop or a car. I'm gonna wait for y'all to let me know because I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume. But I will say, I remember when that phenomena first started as a mainstream popular thing. I remember. I remember when all the twerk tutorial videos came out and women were being monetized immediately because that's the content that they were putting out. I remember when it became, I guess, a rite of passage, so to speak, to be an artist and have a twerk video. Not the twerking type. Nah, never, ever, never. Me neither, honestly. I haven't. Um, I will say that because of my build, even when I was younger, because of my build, there was actually an expectation. Can you believe it? There was an expectation that I should be twerking at the party or wherever, whatever have you. Why not? Why not? What do you mean? Because I don't twerk. I have other talents, right? So, who is responsible for this narrative? Okay. So, that was the purpose of today's show. Today's show was to talk about the stigmas about women in the music industry. I appreciate the turn that the conversation took about the stigmas in the industry, period. Overall, the stereotypes, the slavery, would you say? It's similar to a dance called Walking the Dog. Now, see, I'm going to have to Google that. See if I can find some imagery. And maybe I'll put out a short soon. Y'all take a look at my shorts when you have some time. I have a few. And as I said before, please do hit that like button. I love it when you show me love. Love it when you show me love. Walking the dog. That's interesting. I am. I'm gonna have to go look at that. But what I would love for you all to do when you walk away from today's show, please, I encourage you to ask yourself how you feed into the stigma against women and anyone in the industry. And what are you doing to change it? So, this is a portion of the show where we talk about how will you just live? And in conjunction with today's topic about the stigmas in the industry, I would like for you to look at it from that angle. How will you change the narrative when it comes to women in music? Whether it's what you listen to, what videos you watch, what you share, what you spend time building in the algorithm, how will you just live and change that narrative? Um, I will continue to work on my content. I will continue to intentionally make sure that the music that I create and the content that I create is for the betterment of my community. Well, myself first. If I listen back to this, how does this uplift me as a human? How does this uplift my family? And then how does this uplift my community? That's how I will just live. And I encourage again and challenge each and every one of you here to ask yourself that same question. How will I live? How will I change these narratives? What will I do to make a difference? Travis says, not buying it or giving it views. You know, I actually believe that about you. That's how you will just live and change the narrative. But each and every one of you, again, I encourage you to do whatever you can to change the narrative. Now, listen, we're at the portion of the show where if you are so compelled to make a donation, that's the Cash App, $ QS Queen Sanaa. Additionally, if you are not compelled to make a donation, that's okay because I appreciate you being here with me. And I hope that you were able to learn something from today's show. And I hope that you were able to challenge yourself in some way from today's topic. Um, the most important thing to me is that we learn and we grow. Thank you, Opulent Jade. I truly appreciate you tuning in. One of my most faithful viewers. Bless you for that, and bless you for all of your contributions to my show. So, what we're going to do now that we've done the How Will You Just Live is I'm going to send you off with, I think I'm going to do two songs. I've started doing two songs lately. And let's see. I can't play that. It's very profane. Let's see. It's Sunday. Y'all, I'm trying to reduce the profanity on Sundays if I can. And don't laugh at me. Oh, you don't see the Cash App? I gotcha. Well, let me put it here for you then. My moderator has been out for a while. Shout out to her. Here's the Cash App. If you want to make a donation, I greatly appreciate it. And again, I appreciate each of you who listen to this show. For point of reference, the song that was in the memorial for Life the Legend was Better Than Ever, and it's on the Triangle Offense. I believe it's Volume 2 album. But if you want to know more, send me a message, qsqueensana@gmail.com, or on my IG, or on my Facebook, or wherever you want to reach me at if you want to know more about that song, and I will show you how to find it. So, I'm going to play two songs. That's pretty late. I'm going to play one song. I'm going to play Being in Love, which is my signature show song. And that's because I'm in love with life. I'm in love with learning new things. I'm in love with helping people learn more about life. I'm in love with, I don't know. I'm in love with my listeners. I love y'all. Oh, thank you very much. Shout out to you, Travis. Also, if you are looking for a party bus, Travis has an awesome party bus service. So if you are on Facebook, I believe it's Travis Roughhouse Party Bus Ruffin. Check him out. Get you a good party bus situation going. Thank you again for your donation, my good sir. All right, being in love. That's how we're going to go out of here today. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Sunday. You know, listen. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for tuning in. Shout out to you for listening. Shout out to you for your engagement in the comments. Y'all know I like to talk to you every Sunday. That kind of sets the tone for my week. Shout out to you for all the likes and the love. And hopefully I'll see you next week.
I'm gonna get it together.
I'm just being in love. 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 Just being in love.